Back in 1964, Ford released its first iteration of the Mustang. It's the brand's longest production nameplate, and 55 years later, nearly every car publication on the planet missed this. The 55-year anniversary model. So in 2019, the Mustang turned 55 years old, and Ford decided to celebrate by introducing a brand new package. And for some reason, there's very little content regarding this car on the internet, and I'm about to change that today because I think this particular car is quite interesting. So let me walk you through this a little bit before we take it out for a drive. So let's start with the exterior. First off, there's two new color additions to the Mustang lineup. Twisted orange is one of them, and then there's this very cool grabber lime greenish color. And yes, this is the exact same color in which Schmee's GT 500 is spec'd in. And this is quite an eye-catching color, if I do say so myself. And I can't remember the amount of times I've been stopped on the street in the last 4 days for people to ask me about this color. They ask me if it's a Shelby, if it's a GT 500, is it Schmee's car, and so on. You get a lot. It is a very, very nice color. And if you ask me, this is a proper Mustang color. Anyway, let's move on. Beside these two new colors you can choose from, you have these new 19-inch gloss black alloys wrapped in Michelin PS 4S tires, which is quite a nice touch from Ford. And then we have these dissolving black stripes on the bonnet and on the side of the car. And finally, we have the gloss black roof and that quite nice optional boot spoiler. On the inside, there's some carbon fiber on the dash and on this quite cool gear lever over here. We have the Mustang 55 years badge on the dash as well. Then we have Alcantara on the middle of the seat and on the doors. The Bang & Olufsen stereo system, including the navigation system, is also included in the 55 years package. And yeah, that's about it. So why is this package so interesting? Well, it's all about the Benjamins, baby. Yeah, this entire 55-year anniversary package with all the options I mentioned before adds only around 1,500 euros to the final price of this car, making it an incredible value proposition. Think about it, a car with a 5-liter naturally aspirated V8 under the bonnet, with a manual transmission in the middle and with the drive going to the rear wheels in 2021, costing you less than a VW Golf R. And also, by the way, did I mention the sound this car makes? Tunnel. Oh my God. Granted, the Mustang is not really a sports car, so therefore you shouldn't really expect sports car handling from it. It does handle pretty well, however, and here are some of the settings I use to get the best out of this car. The V8 Mustang has a bunch of driving modes, but I personally keep it in normal mode. Then I put the steering into sport because I want a more sharp steering response, and then I go into the Mustang menu and put the exhaust into track mode. I don't use sport mode or the other more aggressive driving modes because I feel that the dampers become too stiff in those driving modes and the car just jumps around too much, especially on these back roads. But anyway, does the 55-year anniversary package do anything to the way this Mustang V8 drives? Well, no, but since the Mach 1 isn't really available for test drives, in Sweden at least, I've decided to borrow this car to try and remember how a V8 Mustang feels like to drive. I've been driving this car more than I usually drive the press cars I loan. And there wasn't 1 minute of driving this car where I didn't have a huge smile on my face. It's absolutely awesome to drive this car. It's really a lot of fun to drive, and because of this ridiculous engine and the noise it makes, you don't even need to go up to crazy speeds in order to extract everything that the exhausts have to give you. It's sensational, and I really have trouble figuring out how the hell did Ford manage to get this car past this quite stringent Europe emission regulations. I have no idea how they did that, but kudos to the Ford team for doing it. And yeah, the fact that in 2021 you can still buy a car with a naturally aspirated V8 and a manual transmission is something that's quite special. You can of course get this car with a 10-speed traditional automatic gearbox, and that transmission is pretty good, it's alright, but if you're buying a V8 Mustang in 2021, I highly suggest the manual. It's actually very fun and very easy to drive. The clutch is light, the gear shifts are short and quite direct, and it is a joy to use. And while we're in the suggestion phase, if you're planning to buy a Mustang in 2021 and you don't want to stretch your budget to get a Mach 1, I highly suggest you get this 55-year anniversary package. It adds so much to your Mustang for very little money, if I do say so myself. But that's been it for this quick video today, my friends. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up if you have, and make sure you're subscribed for plenty more videos to come.